It's another day and another budget chronograph. But let me tell you and show you how the use of color can make such a big difference in this watch. If you're like me, you have the vocabulary of a sixth grader and the personality of a meatless fajita. You might also be wondering why I even have a YouTube channel, and yet here we are. If you're in the same boat as I am, it is in your best interest to actually buy a watch that compensates for your lack of all of these qualities. And that's exactly what Nezumi is offering with their vintage styled yet fun colored watches, such as this Nezumi Tonnerre chronograph. Tonnerre chronograph. I think we reviewed many of Nezumi's watches before, but I've never seen something like this with such a pastel color and at the same time a hint of fun into their watches. So if you're a boring milquetoast guy like I am, you might want to buy a Tonnerre from Nezumi. Find out why. Playing around with colors is one of the most accessible areas in watchmaking. While finishing and engineering are often a much more open playground for brands that have ample resources, dial colors, in a way, are the great equalizer, as anyone can achieve great results with them. In fact, it also works the other way around, as a very competent brand can soil its reputation through the misuse of color. Colors and tones can evoke an emotional reaction unlike any other part of the watch. Some can make you happily surprised at the harmony between components, while others can evoke rage, such as when a brand doesn't provide even the most logical dial color you can think of. I'm happy to report that Nezumi pulled off the former rather than the latter. This color combination is such a fun choice that I wonder why I don't even see it more often. The case and watch itself are pretty solid, which I expect no less from a watch assembled in Germany, but really, it's the dial that grabs you right away, striking you mildly in the face with its color, if I may. That's as far as I can go with the dial color for now. The rest of the watch conveniently stays out of the spotlight as it's reliable enough to be unnoticeable. This is the advantage of quartz movements, as they have proven time and again to be affordable while sustaining that dependability. This VK63 Mecha Quartz caliber is the best of both worlds, as it delivers that mechanical haptics of the chronograph complication while retaining that quartz accuracy. I'll be honest though, you're likely not going to buy this watch for the chronograph function, but rather its appealing visual and versatility. As you can see in this demonstration, you can install any strap of your liking. Nezumi provided us with these straps, which are pretty high grade and well curated. They're also available in their website for you to choose from. This multi-black rubber strap is made from FKM rubber and is beautifully signed with its branded buckle. It's also equipped with a quick-release spring bar, making us lazy watch pirates squeal a mildly drunken yes of approval. Mind you, these straps from Nezumi may look rather overpriced compared to similar mass-produced Chinese options. But on closer inspection, you will notice that these are actually custom-molded straps from the brand. These FKM straps are very soft as it stays true to the material's defining feature, something that these feminine man wrists will always begrudgingly welcome. The aesthetics design is also very familiar, with these 20mm straps working very well with these 38mm watch cases. I don't know about you, but I like my rubber straps salty and wet while I'm on my seafaring adventures. But when I'm dry and driving my silver Shelby Cobra, this hunter strap is the ideal vintage automotive theme combo. At least until when I snap out of my midday siesta, that is. If black is a little too stale for you, brown can always be a fallback to give your watch a little bit more of an organic appeal. Your mileage may vary with the cream dial on this watch, but hey, it's not like you're being forced to wear this combination anyway. These leather straps are a bit softer compared to what I've been reviewing lately, even though they may appear thicker. These are definite touches of premiumness, something that I'd expect, especially knowing that I'm paying a little bit extra versus your typical Amazon strap. The Colleen bracelet is my favorite of the bunch. This on its own is a $120 investment. I shouldn't be reminding you that you will see no financial return once it's owned, but I assure you it will see a lot of wrist time once it's on the Tonnerre. While I have these two Nezumi watches on hand, I was able to use it together with this Mirage travel case. It's the perfect travel companion as it's got these two distinct watch cases to work with and a bunch of straps to install. It's deep yet compact, and it ensures your watches are well protected and making it easy for you to switch styles on the go. For the ultimate summer spirit, this cream-on-cream configuration is a breath of fresh air for your attire. This also makes all of the teal parts pop out, making it a vibrant yet soft visual experience. This muted impression of the watch turned out to be a very strong characteristic once you see it beside other chronographs in your collection. Beside our recently released 6030 chronograph, the Tonnerre has a reserved persona because of all of the brush finish all over the case and bracelet. This is a stark contrast to our very polished and expressive chrono. Both could definitely occupy different areas of your collection and each could be used in different occasions. This is a great example of similar watches with different surface treatment living in the same ownership. Notice too that this also has a running seconds indicator, making it a little bit better than this chronograph as you have an indication that it's actually working. You can of course press the pushers as we all watch pirates do, and both deliver that nice and crisp mechanical feel. Another advantage of this movement is that it costs significantly less than its mechanical counterparts, something that I really value considering that this is an actual budget watch. Beside my collection staple Speedy Mark II, the proposition is on the compact case design. As a lugless Speedmaster, this is one of the more wearable Omega Chronos ever created, but on smaller wrists, the Tonnerre is still the better fit. Activating the chronograph is very identical, further emphasizing the selling point of these mecha quartz calibers. I can safely recommend that every collection should at least have one of these Seiko movements. This Speedy has that very important running second subdial as well, so that explains my fondness for this feature of the movement. You too have opinions and questions like Robert Little Hawk, who says that the real difference is the color, but he has one question: is the band tapered? Well, it is tapered as I have clearly shown in this video. AHQ says that the Tiffany blue being used as an accent is a big difference instead of having a look at me watch on your hand. Finally, EA Racing featuring Ed asked me to sell him the watch. Well, sure, I'll send you a receipt for 5 barrels of Guinness. My obsession for creamy Irish stout aside, the dial definitely reminds me of that rich, lush foam. The rest of the watch is brushed out, giving the impression of bare and raw persona. Sometimes it's good not to have any polished facets, but if done wrong, it could look very incomplete. Nezumi excels in this area as they have proven time and again their keen eye towards aesthetics. I mean, just look at this case back. This is one of my favorite case backs from any microbrand. The surface texture of these watches are top-notch. It's easy to get lost on the shapes and colors, but it's the skin grains and grooves that play a big part in the overall appeal. You need to play with your strengths when it comes to working on a budget. Using this more affordable dial texture, for example, works very well with the matte finish of the paint that's used on the accents. Another free element that you can use are shadows. By making these subdials sunken and the grooves inside them deep, shadows are visibly utilized to emphasize and reveal these details. Then back to those brushed hardware and you've got all of this light play that's taking center stage because everything else is matte textured. And this is why other watch designers shouldn't be that liberal when it comes to adding polished facets. Nezumi has proven that having only these directional surface treatments can be used to provide character to a watch. A character that impresses from up close and can be admired from afar. Being the cheap, opportunistic pirate that I am, of course I would rather have this at a cheaper price. But that solid assembly and refined design is much easier to love compared to what's out there. All of that is because Nezumi expertly used colors to its advantage. And they're painting these colors not just on their watches, but especially so onto our hearts. And that is the Nezumi Tonnerre, and that is my combo right there. You could see the Aviera that we reviewed earlier, and now it's together with this Nezumi Tonnerre. These two watches are a great combo for everyone who's looking for a very versatile collection, but at the same time, they have the budget of a kindergarten teacher. So if you're not a privileged kindergarten teacher and have like that meager salary, you can have this kind of collection that Nezumi is offering. And not only that, with this collection, you could even get like a bunch of straps that you could pair it with, and you can mix and match these to a multitude of combinations that you can pair with your wardrobe, and that could actually satisfy a lot of situations where you need a great watch that hints at your fun personality and expressiveness. And at the same time, if you can afford, you can even afford this luxury travel bag from Mirage that we're going to review very, very soon. And we've reviewed these products before. I know some of you are complaining, okay, my watch reviews are more like glorified promotions for the brand. But I mean, I'm talking about things that I love, and I am promoting them because they have something to be promoted for. And I think Nezumi offering this is their second batch of Nezumis that I've reviewed, and all of them, even the first batch, is something that I really, really love and I really, really enjoy because I'm someone who has that kind of affinity for vintage styles, and Nezumi is knocking it off the park when it comes to their watches, and these two are no different. And at the same time, they're offering it in some nice and really fun colors that you don't see every day. So that's the Nezumi Tonnerre chronograph and also the Aviera that we reviewed earlier. So comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about them. Also, their price point. Their price point is really competitive compared to many micro brands. So that's another thing that you're getting from Nezumi. And at the same time, they have that class and vintage aesthetic that many of us love. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll try to comment on all of them. Yes, all of them, even though I can't. I'm only human. I'm milquetoast, boring human. If you're like me, you have the vocabulary of a sixth grader and the personality of meatless pie. If you're like me, you have the vocabulary of a sixth grader and the personality of a meatless pajita. You might also be asking, why am I in this? If you're like me, you're questioning your existence right now.